I'll just hide in here for a while. What's up, my fellow weirdos? So today I'm going to be talking about writing with depression, or more specifically, how to start writing a book when you're depressed. A lot of people say, and I'm a firm believer, that writing is one of the best forms of therapy, and I agree with that. I think that it's a great way of getting out the feelings and just even deciphering through stuff in your mind and processing and escaping. You know, like you just go into this fictional world where you have control and, you know, and decide what happens and escape and have fun and live in there for a while, you know. But how do you do that when you're depressed? So it's like, I feel like there's a lot of videos out there which are tailored to how to start your first story and all that. And it's good that there's videos like that because, you know, the more resources that are accessible, the better. But I feel like there's not enough content tailored toward, you know, how to write when you're depressed, because when you're depressed, even getting out of bed is a challenge, or at least that's how it is for me. So how the hell do you write a book? Like, yeah, like people say things like, you know, going for a walk can help, and, you know, getting outside can help, and cleaning your house can help. But it's like, how do you do those things when you're feeling depressed? Like, it's not a simple science. So how do you start writing a book when you're depressed? Unfortunately, there's no like one answer, like this is a secret answer, here you go. Unfortunately, even if you aren't depressed, there is no simple science of how to write a book. I think that it's very trial and error, you know. It's not one size fits all, it's very what works for you. But I can talk about what helps me, and that might help other people, or at least help other people figure out what will work for them. Firstly, for me, having set plans is just a no-no. I think that it's a very good idea for other people who, you know, particularly Virgos, who have a comfort in having that kind of outline. For me personally, I get very down on myself if I don't do the things. So let's just say I have a list of like, do these things chronologically today, and I don't do it the second I mess up, you know, the depression's gonna get worse. So it's like, set attainable goals, you know what I mean? Like, don't push yourself too hard. You're not going into it, you know, full throttle. You're going into it with a bit of spice, you know. And that's not to say you can't do it, you can do it, but, you know, you're going to have to be patient and mindful of yourself and, you know, your limitations and how, you know, your mental illness, and this goes for a lot of mental illnesses, how it's affecting you on that day. So I feel like having a schedule where it's like, Monday write this, Tuesday write that, Wednesday do this, is personally for me very damning. It's a very quick way to fall into the hole of failure. So I don't personally like that. I think that works for, you know, a certain group of people, whether they have depression or not, but for me, no. No, absolutely not. I tend to have one big goal a day, and it's like, if I do that goal, great, gold star for me. And if I don't, then I usually have a backup plan. So it's like, well, if you don't get that one done, you can get this done. And the backup plan is something usually quite easy, because it's like, even small things for someone with depression takes so much energy, you know, it takes so much energy. So I promise that all my videos won't be so downer, but we're in this together. So how do you get started? If I was giving advice to someone who wasn't struggling with depression, I would say, get rid of the blank canvas, you know, get some words on the paper, start with the first line. I would give all that sort of advice, but that's not how I think that the approach should be for people who, you know, are struggling. I think that we need a more kind, understanding approach, and I think that this is even beneficial for all groups, to be honest. But I don't think the first step, if you are struggling with depression and you want to write a story, or if you have some sort of mental illness or disorder and you want to write a story and you're struggling to get started, I don't think the first step is writing. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think that's the first step. I think the first step is clearing your space. Even though it may not feel like it, your environment very much dictates your emotions. If you have a chaotic environment, so it's like, I find that when I'm very depressed, my environment, if you even looked around me, you'd be able to see, that looks not so bad, but there's a lot of mess. There's a pile there, makeup scattered, you're resting on a pile of books, if you want me to be honest with you. They're Nora Roberts books, if that helps. Anyway, so the point is, when your mind is messy, your environment tends to get messy, and then it's very hard to focus. If you're sitting in all this chaos, how are you meant to get these things out of your mind? How? That's a very difficult task. So ironically, if you are, struggling to get your book started, regardless of your mental state, I would say that the best first step is to clean your space. Just clean that bad boy up, that's the first step. So I'm being a hypocrite right now because I was writing yesterday and my space is very messy, but I've already started my book. This is for people getting started. So I don't want to clean. I don't want to clean. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do though. We're gonna clean. We're gonna do it together, okay? I don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. Neither of us want to do it, but as hard as it is, just do it together. We'll set aside some time and we will clean long distance and get our shit done, because regardless of, our mental state and what we're struggling with, we deserve the same value out of life. We deserve the same goodness and rewards. And, I don't want my depression to stop me from achieving my dreams. I don't want my depression to hold me back any more than it has. So we're gonna clean our damn space. We are gonna get up out of our forking chairs, and we're going to clean our space. Now, it's okay if you just do a little bit. It's okay, that's all right. You can just do a little bit by little bit. I personally find that the best method is to get all the things and put them in a basket, so that way all the mess is in one place, and then just slowly sift through the basket, So that's essentially what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick up all my mess, put it in a basket, and I will sort through the basket afterwards. But before I do that, I'm going to wipe down my stuff, and there's a lot of cat hair everywhere. It's very dusty. I promise that, as hard as it seems, once your space is clear, and it doesn't even have to be, you don't have to go to cleaning your whole house, although that would be very helpful. You don't have to make these big unobtainable goals, just little steps every day, just little tiny steps. Some days my steps are literally get out of bed. That's it, that's my goal for the day. And once I do that, I'm gold star for me. That is amazing. It's sensational that you felt down today and you pushed yourself and got out of bed. So yeah, don't stress about the whole house, don't stress about everything, just little bit by little bit. So before you even get to writing the story, just clear your space, just a little space. So my space is sectioned off in the lounge room. It's not a very big space, it's just a tiny makeshift study. I have some dividers up to make this into a room. It's not technically a room, it's half of a room. And as clean as that looks up there, it's dusty and not clean. So we're gonna clean our space. We're gonna clean, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get distracted. We're gonna find some things and we're gonna get distracted, but we're gonna get there. So even if it takes you days or a week or months or whatever, clean your space. I promise that once your space is clean, it's going to help a lot. It's gonna lift a pressure. There's not gonna be chaos all around you. You'll be able to sit and finally have a bit of clarity of mind, baby steps.